The European Super League is super hated. Hey, it's Martin Harvey. And in this episode of Harvey & Co. TV, I'm going to share with you why the proposed European Super League failed within 72 hours of being announced, and why, as an entrepreneur, you should care. The European Super League is super hated. This is the headline I woke up to just 24 hours after the new proposed European Super League was announced by the 12 most powerful clubs in Europe. Their goal was to break away from the traditional Champions League football play that we had come to know for decades, and their plan was to break away and form basically their own league where they have a better chance of winning and would allow them to get more profits from network TV channels. For college basketball fans out there, the European Super League would be like Kansas, North Carolina, Duke, and Kentucky all breaking away from March Madness to form their own Final Four each year that they would be guaranteed to play in. Not only would it be incredibly boring to see the same four teams play in the Final Four every year, but it would also have a significant impact on the rest of the March Madness teams that just fight all year just to qualify for the tournament. Spoiler alert, the European Super League got cancelled in just under 72 hours after being announced, but not before players, fans, and coaches all voiced their opinion on how they would not be involved in a league simply designed to pad the pockets of wealthy business owners. You can go ahead and see on my website the timeline of everything that happened in those 72 hours. However, in this video, I really want to focus on why, as an entrepreneur of a small business thousands of miles away, should care about what happened in the European Super League nightmare. And that's what I want to talk about next. I like to say that greed is the antithesis to value-added marketing. And the reason is because as business owners, our main motivator is to make money. You don't start a for-profit business without the motivator of making profit. However, when we start our business, we price our product based on what we think the value is to the customer. And there's nothing wrong with increasing that price over time. The more experienced you are, the better the product becomes. However, there comes a point that we saw in the European Super League when business owners were more likely to decrease the value of their product so that they could increase the profit that they were making. And this is where things can go wrong for businesses. So how do you know if you have or are currently falling into the same trap of the European Super League business owners? Well, I like to ask myself a set of questions every once in a while to make sure that I am continuously adding value to my customer's life at an equal or higher rate than the product that I am producing. So I like to ask myself these 5 questions. So the first thing I like to ask myself is when I'm making a change to my business, whether I'm changing a vendor or changing a product that I'm using in order to create websites or to create email campaigns or to create lead generators, maybe I'm using a different graphic designer or a different copywriter than I was using before, I like to ask myself, is this change going to increase or decrease the total value my customer is receiving from me? And if it doesn't increase the value at all, then I know that I need to think about that decision more and find ways to make sure that the value that I'm offering my customer either remains the same or increases with the change that I'm going to make to my business. The second question I ask myself doesn't require a change in my business, but I constantly ask myself, how is my product affecting my customers? Is it growing their business? Is it meeting the goals that they had set out in the very beginning? Is it doing its job? Are the lead generators being downloaded? Are the email campaigns working? Is my client's business growing? These are all questions that I ask in terms of how is my product affecting my clients? How is the value my product is producing? Is that the value my clients expected it to do for them? Third, I then ask myself, are my clients happy with the value I'm currently offering them? Did they expect something more? Did they expect something less? How are their testimonials? Did they exude a certain quality about my product that I didn't hear from somebody else? And then I may ask my customers further and may say, What did you like about this or that with my product? Did you feel that offered you value? So the fourth thing I like to ask myself is what I'm doing devaluing my product in any way? So for example, many web designers will say they make custom-made websites, but most of the time they just use a template that they buy that was custom-made by somebody, and then they just throw your stuff in there and say it's a custom-made website. Technically, it's true, it is a custom-made website, but it's not custom by them and it's not custom for you. So I like to ask myself, is my product devalued by anything that I'm doing in the process of creating that product or offering that service? And if it is, then I like to make sure that I'm changing that as soon as possible or finding a way to increase that value that I'm offering to the customer. Finally, I like to ask myself, what can I be doing better? How can I be increasing the value of my customers' lives? How can I be offering a product that is going to be better than my competition? And by doing that, I'm constantly putting value at the forefront of every decision that I make within my business. So my customers are always at the forefront of my mind, and the value of my product is always being questioned and evaluated to make sure that I personally don't fall in the same trap of the European Super League club owners. And this is something you can do with any product or any service that you're offering. Whether you've created your product, you're offering that service, you're a franchisee owner, you can always be asking, how can I add more value to my customers' lives so that my product can be truly a product that impacts the world in a positive way? So I hope that you don't ever fall into the same trap of the European Super League club owners, because I don't think it's a trap you will ever want to get yourself into, and one that they will never forget. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some great tips that you can use in your business this week. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. If you would like to talk to me personally, you can DM me on Facebook or Instagram and ask that question. I manage these accounts personally and absolutely love to hear from you and talk to you about your business. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you're new here, click subscribe so you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video and a new episode on Harvey & Co TV. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.